Joined now by tight end Mike O'Loughlin. Questions for Mike? Greg Hunter.
Mike, how long did it take you to get used to playing tight end? Obviously, you're a wide receiver in high school. I assume the blocking aspect was somewhat new. So how long did that take?
I mean, the change was crazy, really. Coming in here, I only had about a summer and then tore my ACL. So kind of that whole learning process was more mental than it was physical early on. So that was kind of challenging. But I mean, I'm starting to get a hang of it now, so really there's no problems with it.
We'll go to John.
Hey, Mike, you came in here about half the size that you are right now. Are you finally getting to your body? Are you feeling like you're coming into your body the way it is, bigger right now?
Yeah, I think so. When I came in, I was maybe 220 pounds. In high school, I was 205, so now I'm 255, which is a big change. But yeah, that whole process of coming into the body, figuring out how the movements work, football movements, it's a big change. So yeah, that took a little bit of time to get used to. But yeah, it's been pretty good.
Real quick, do you move like a 200 pounder or a 255 pounder now?
I think I move like a 255 pounder now, but working on that, definitely.
Cody Nesper.
Hey, Mike. Yesterday, Coach Parker was talking to us about how, since he was at Penn State last year, he got to watch Pat Freiermuth, and he said that he was able to bring some of what Pat did here to show you. I was wondering if you could elaborate that on a little, if there was anything specific, or was it just kind of general mindset?
It's more general mindset, I'd say. He's got a great tight end mind, which was a great addition to the team. But yeah, just tips and tricks here and there has been, massive for me. And just hearing what those guys did at Penn State, trying to replicate that here has been a huge help.
Greg Hunter. So, Mike, you've had to get used to different quarterbacks. Will Greer was here when you first got here, then mainly Austin last year, and now Jarrett. So what's Jarrett bring? What's he like? How long did it take to get used to him?
Jarrett's a great leader. He's decisive on the field and really just picks everybody up. Obviously a great quarterback, instinctive, and he's just got all the great qualities. Didn't take long. Obviously he was in practice all last year working with us, but there was a little bit period over the summer just getting to know him and kind of just building that relationship, not just with me but with all the tight ends and receivers. But it's been a great relationship so far.
We'll go to Carly Nevis.
Hey, Mike, kind of along the same lines. Have you seen something maybe change in Jared over the past couple of games? Maybe him coming into his own, growing confidence, stringing up a couple of good games in a row?
Yeah, it's just that confidence. Oftentimes when you do have a few good games in a row, you're just walking a little bit taller. And just having that support system of the whole team around you can really help mentally. So yeah, I just think he's been riding the wave of the fans and his teammates, and he's doing a great job.
Back to John.
Curious, they're lining you up a bunch of different ways. They've got you attached, unattached, in the backfield. What are some of the challenges that you've had to deal with as you get into this offense and as they begin to do more things with you?
Haven't been that many challenges. It's exciting. It's an opportunity. And against Kansas State, we saw, I think it was 90% of the snaps we were in motion. And for Kansas State defense, that was an issue. So hopefully we can just continue to do that. It doesn't really matter where you line up, but we're evolving, and I think it could be really good for us.
Go ahead, Greg.
So I'll throw you a little curveball here. I assume you know Robert Spillane? And
Yeah.
if you do, how cool is it to see what he's doing?
That's awesome. When I was an 8th grader, my mom worked at my high school, so I knew I was going there off the bat. So I used to go to all the high school games. He was a senior, and then his cousin, Ryan Smith, tight end at Fenwick, then went on to play at Miami of Ohio. So I watched those guys when I was really young, and gave me that inspiration to work hard and just try and make it to the next level. So seeing Spillane do that, he had a pick 6 against Lamar, and just being able to watch him on TV wearing his grandfather's number. His grandfather was Johnny Latner, and his Heisman Trophy is at our high school displayed. So there's just a lot of history there, and I've been in contact with him a little bit, and he's just been a great help, giving me tips and stuff, getting through college, and just trying to become a better football player.
Mike Kazaza.
Hey, Mike, going back to talking about Jared and the tight end mind that you said that he brought there, you mentioned tips and tricks. I don't think you're going to give them all away, but how much of that is subtle stuff? And, if you're selling a run block and you actually run a pass, you got to get the guy out of the way so you can get open. And just small things like that add up and make a big difference that maybe you weren't aware of before as you learn the position.
Yeah, it is subtle stuff. It's the little things, but in football, the little things matter, So it's really like releases off the line, just catching the ball, techniques, catching the ball, just how to set up your routes, good plans and stuff like that. Didn't really have that before him. He kind of got us a big picture of what to do, and kind of the planning process before the snap of a play. So that was huge, and he's been a great help.
Kevin Kinder.
Like you said, you're moving like a 250-pounder now, and you kind of showed that on your first reception when you ran over the one defender. But then on your second catch, you had the big spin move, which, I think most running backs and wide receivers would be proud of. Are you finding things, where like one move sets up another? Does some of that come from your wide receivers days? And was that an instinct, or were you thinking spin as soon as you caught it?
No, that was an instinct thing that probably comes from the wide receiver days. Obviously, don't get as many balls as you do as a receiver. But yeah, I'm just looking to catch the ball and get yards. You know what I mean? So it's pretty simple in my mind. It's nothing crazy. But yeah, just yards after catch and not being taken down by one guy is kind of the goal.
Okay, one more from Greg.
So I think you went over this last year with us, but remind me again, how does a kid from a Catholic high school in the middle of Chicago get to West Virginia? How'd the recruitment go?
Yeah, it is kind of crazy. Not a lot of Midwestern kids come out here to the mountains. But I came out here for a visit. Loved the fan base, just loved the culture, loved what it was about, and really just fell in love with it right away. This was one of my first official visits. So when I was here, I was just being shown the town, just kind of what they're about and the blue collar mentality. And, that was something I loved.